LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I
filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though. I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Yippee! Taxi!
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
You are now diving headlong into the deep end of the Stone Zone. After a brief bout of laryngitis, I'm delighted to be back with you with the good news that my good friend General Michael Flynn has now been fully vindicated. Flynn, of course, was questioned by federal agents as part of the Russian collusion hoax in 2017 and later charged with lying to the FBI, charges that were a classic perjury trap set by the deep state operating under the show us the man and we'll show you the crime modus operandi. It's interesting, President Trump once told me that after he was elected in 2016, when he was still president-elect, he went to the White House to meet Barack Obama, his predecessor, and Obama told him, you can have anyone in your cabinet you want, you can appoint anyone to your administration you want. The one person I would recommend that you not appoint is Mike Flynn. The president told me as soon as he left the White House and got back in the car, he called Michael Flynn on his cell phone and asked him to be the national security advisor. Now, Flynn initially pled guilty, but later withdrew that plea, citing pressure from prosecutors who allegedly threatened legal action against his family to coerce him. Internal records and later reviews raised serious questions about the unethical conduct of the investigators and the prosecutors. In fact, the two FBI agents who actually questioned Flynn insisted that he hadn't lied, but they were overruled by Deputy Director Andrew McCabe. Department of Justice ultimately dropped the charges against Flynn, and Flynn was pardoned in 2020. The Department of Justice has now reached a financial settlement with General Flynn, bringing to closure one of the most grotesque miscarriages of justice stemming from the whole Russiagate fiasco. Flynn, who had served as a national security advisor under Trump, had sought $50 million in damages, arguing that he was the victim of a politically motivated prosecution tied to the now thoroughly discredited Russian collusion narrative. Now, while the exact amount of the settlement has not been disclosed, it is believed to be over $1 million, although I don't think money is the point of this. Both sides agreed to dismiss the case permanently once payment is finalized. In a statement, my good friend General Flynn said no amount of money could make up for the damage done to his family, calling the ordeal a brazen attempt to weaponize federal law enforcement against political opponents. His attorney described the agreement as a clear acknowledgement that General Flynn was seriously wrong. The case traces back, of course, to the FBI's fake Crossfire hurricane investigation, which targeted alleged but false ties between the Trump campaign and Russia. The only real shame here to me is the taxpayers are the one who will be paying this settlement. It should be paid for by those deep state lowlifes who should be held criminally and civilly liable for the actions they have taken to destroy the lives of patriots like General Flynn, Donald Trump, and, well, myself. All of those who claim that Flynn is part of some conspiracy to undermine the president. I see this online, but I don't understand it at all. In fact, the president personally signed the agreement the announcement of an agreement with General Flynn and sent it to him, which shows the high regard that the president has for General Flynn. Now, here's what I will say. In 2023, when it was unclear that President Trump was going to run for president, and it was a reasonable question whether he would be legally allowed to run for president, I said if for some reason Donald Trump could not run, well, I preferred General Flynn as a candidate to Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, who I view as an egregious backstabber. He only got to the governorship essentially because of the endorsement of Donald Trump. Ron DeSantis was a largely unknown and undistinguished congressman who zoomed ahead of the competition when Donald Trump endorsed him to snag the Republican nomination for governor, only having to require Donald Trump to come to Florida 3 times in the last 2 weeks of the 2018 election cycle to drag Ron DeSantis over the finish line. I considered his candidacy an act of disloyalty. He owed his rise to Donald Trump, and then he betrayed him. The other possibility was the globalist Nikki Haley. Yes, I stand by my assessment that Mike Flynn would have been preferable to either one of those, but only in the event that Trump decided not to run. Fortunately, President Trump did run. He ran almost a letter-perfect campaign, and he defied the odds to essentially accomplish the greatest single comeback in American political history. So justice has finally been done. God bless my friend Michael Flynn and his family for what they have gone through. I've been through it myself. It's very hard to understand if you have not really experienced being the targeted of a vengeful federal government with unlimited resources and unlimited legal authority. I've been there.